Hi, this is Brendan from Watto Training, and in this tutorial we take a look at the Recognition of Prior Learning Pathway, abbreviated as RPL, for the course TLI41218, Certificate 4 in Transport and Logistics, Road Transport, Car Driving Instruction. Recognition of prior learning is a process by which a registered training organisation assesses an applicant's prior knowledge, skills and experience in relation to a qualification or units they wish to complete. RPL includes the applicant's skills, knowledge and experience gained through work and life learning experiences. RPL can be gained at any stage of an applicant's life through formal and informal learning in Australia or overseas, through work or other activities such as volunteering. There are 12 units for the TLI41218 Certificate 4 in Transport and Logistics, Road Transport, Car Driving Instruction. They are as follows: maintain business records, provide work skill instruction, design and develop learning programs, operate a commercial vehicle, apply safe car driving behaviours, follow work health and safety procedures, work in a socially diverse environment, apply customer service skills, complete induction to the transport industry, manage personal work priorities and professional development, conduct learner-driver training, develop safe car driving behaviours in others. Do you have any RPL for any of those units? Well, let's take a closer look at each unit and you can assess as you go through to see if you believe that you do. Maintain business records. This unit describes the skills and knowledge required to maintain the records of a business or record system in a good order on a day-to-day basis. It applies to individuals who follow established guidelines and processes to assist them to carry out their work. They work under supervision or in consultation with more senior staff or system users to support effective record keeping and governance practices across the organisation. So in my example as an RTO, we have to manage learning record and student records, so that would be another example if you're in that field. TAE DEL 301 is provide work skill instruction. This unit describes the skills and knowledge required to conduct individual and group instruction, demonstrate work skills and assess the success of training and one's own training performance using existing learning resources in a safe and comfortable learning environment. It emphasises the training as being driven by the work process and context and applies to a person working under supervision as a work skill instructor in a wide range of settings not restricted to training organisations. TAE DES 401, Design and Develop Learning Programs. This unit describes the skills and knowledge required to conceptualise, design, develop and review learning programs to meet an identified need for a group of learners. The unit addresses the skills and knowledge needed to identify the parameters of a learning program, determine its design, outline the content, and review its effectiveness. It applies to trainers or facilitators who work under limited supervision to design or develop learning programs that are discrete and provide a planned learning approach that relates to a specific learning and training needs, or part of the learning design for a qualification. TLI41218 Operate a Commercial Vehicle. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to maintain the safety of and to operate a commercial vehicle across a variety of job roles. It includes monitoring traffic and associated equipment, managing vehicle condition and performance, and effectively managing hazardous situations. TLIC 3036 applies safe car driving behaviours. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required for higher order safe driving. This unit applies to light vehicle safe driving behaviours. This includes higher order skills involving broad cognitive, technical, communication and vehicle management. It also requires knowledge about hazard perception, risk control, and safe driving behaviour, judgment, decision making, and multitasking that builds on driver licence requirements across a range of vehicles and driving situations. TLI41218 follow work health and safety procedures. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to follow and apply work health and safety procedures when carrying out work activities in compliance with the relevant workplace health and safety regulations and procedures. It includes following workplace procedures for hazard identification and risk control, contributing to work health and safety management arrangements, and completing work health safety records. TLI 2007, work in a socially diverse environment. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to apply cultural awareness, communication principles, and problem-solving techniques to facilitate working in a socially diverse environment. This is done in accordance with workplace procedures, relevant anti-discrimination and equal employment opportunity regulations. It includes communicating with customers and colleagues from diverse backgrounds and dealing with cross-cultural misunderstandings. TLI I1002, apply customer service skills. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to apply routine customer service skills in accordance with workplace standards and procedures. It includes dealing with customer inquiries, monitoring customer satisfaction, and taking appropriate action to satisfy customer needs. It involves implementing customer service principles and procedures in day-to-day interactions with internal and external customers as part of workplace operations. TLI L2060, complete induction to the transport industry. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to complete workplace induction procedures when commencing work in the transport and logistics industry in accordance with regulatory requirements and operational policies and procedures. The unit enables a driver to enter and participate in typical workplace activities. It includes identifying major areas of the industry in terms of functions, organisational structures and occupations, applying legislation, regulations and codes of practice, and identifying key industrial relations elements. This unit applies to employees wishing to enter the transport and logistics industry. However, it is predominantly aimed at taxi to multi-combination drivers. It can also be used within the warehousing and logistics sectors of the industry. TLI L4009, manage personal work priorities and professional development. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to manage personal work priorities and personal professional development. It includes managing personal performance, setting and meeting personal work priorities, and developing and maintaining personal professional competence. Work is performed under minimum supervision with general guidance on progress and outcomes. It involves discretion and judgment in managing personal work priorities and professional development. TLI M0001, conduct learner driver training. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to teach learner drivers from diverse backgrounds how to prepare, explain, demonstrate, monitor, and maintain safe car driving behaviours. This unit applies to car driving instructors. It includes preparing a learner for driving, explaining driver training outcomes, demonstrating required skills, monitoring and maintaining safe driving skills, interpreting and applying road rules, debriefing learner driver, identifying hazardous situations, and implementing contingency plans. Work is performed without supervision. Learner driver training involves the application of adult learning principles, instructional methods, training, competence and experience, higher order car driving expertise, navigation skills, road law expertise, routine procedures and regulatory requirements across a range of operational situations and a variety of driving contexts. TLI M4001, develop safe car driving behaviours in others. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to teach learner drivers from diverse backgrounds how to develop, monitor and maintain safe car driving strategies and behaviours. This unit applies to car driving instructors. It includes recognising and dealing with behavioural barriers to learning, developing vehicle operation and control skills, and interpreting and applying regulatory requirements and road law expertise. It also includes developing higher order cognitive and technical skills, such as hazard perception, correctly reading a driving environment and responding appropriately, exercising risk management strategies that contribute to safe car driving behaviours, and meeting community expectations. Work is performed without supervision. Developing safe car driving behaviours in others involves the application of adult learning principles, instructional methods, training competence and experience, higher order car driving expertise, navigation skills, road law expertise, routine procedures and regulatory requirements across a range of operational situations and a variety of driving contexts. Now, this is not official, this is just a general guide for people, because sometimes people have recognition of prior learning and they sometimes get confused about the weighting that is seen on each unit within the course. So what I've done to give you some guidance is giving you an approximate idea of the weightings that would be attributed to not only working out the RPL, but this is linked to any potential discount in pricing as well. We do have quite a few people who come into the course with other qualifications like the Cert 4 in Training and Assessment, and we do have 2 of those units in this course, so we normally do give a discount to those people. I'm happy to discuss this with anyone who's applying for RPL if they need to ask further questions. People who may be eligible for RPL in this course include, but this is not limited to, it could be a range of people, because everybody's different and everyone has an opportunity to apply for RPL. So it could be school teachers, vocational trainers, sports coaches, workplace health and safety officers, childcare workers, bus drivers, police officers, ambulance officers, emergency services, motorcycle trainers, heavy vehicle trainers, and defensive driver trainers. The main principle underpinning RPL is that the competency-based training, the focus on the outcomes of learning rather than how, when, or where the learning occurred. In relation to RPL, there are 3 types of evidence that can be utilised to make a decision in relation to the applicant's competency. Direct evidence, knowledge and skill observed firsthand by the assessor. Indirect evidence, evidence that someone else has observed and reported to the assessor. Supplementary evidence, training records, questions, written work and portfolios. RPL can result in a full qualification or a statement of attainment for partial completion of a qualification. Statements of attainment are awarded when an applicant is granted RPL for a particular unit of competency or units of competency. Both forms of certification are recognised nationally. Credit transfer is the recognition of academic credits gained through formal study at registered training organisations, professional bodies or enterprises and universities. What is credit transfer? Credit transfer recognises previous formal learning. It uses an assessment of a previous course or subject that an applicant has achieved to determine whether it can be credited to the new course in which the applicant wishes to enrol. Here is an example. Earlier I mentioned if someone held a TLI41218 Certificate 4 in Training and Assessment, that contains the unit Design and Develop Learning Programs seen here in red. Now we go over to our 12 units of competency for the TLI41218 and we can see the same unit appears in each qualification. As a result, the applicant would get credit transfer for that particular unit, meaning they do not have to do it again. Clause 3.5 in the Standards for Registered Training Organisations identifies the requirements for the acceptance and provision of credit transfer to learners. WATO Training can assess a learner's eligibility for credit transfer via a USI transcript as long as the students gives Watto Training permission to view their transcript. There are two main pathways by which statements of attainment or qualifications are achieved. One that includes a combination of training and assessment, and one that involves only assessment. That is represented in the diagram on the screen. So we can see up the top, training and assessment pathways in red, leading to a statement of attainment or a qualification, and then we can see down below in green an assessment only pathway leading to a statement of attainment or qualification. What are the benefits of recognition? You get your skills recognised. It may save you time to do your course. It may reduce the amount of time spent gaining the qualification by not undertaking unnecessary training, and also it helps you identify any gaps in your knowledge or skill that you need to address to prepare for your future job role as a driver trainer. The RPL process. First of all, we would have an initial interview to ascertain the potential for your RPL application. Questions you could be asked are about your current role and past roles as well, how long you've held that role or previous roles, an overview of current or previous jobs, any pastime activities such as being a sports coach or something like that that might have developed your training skills, defensive driving instructor. Then the RPL assessor will ask you questions about what a typical day would involve to get an appreciation of the sorts of skill sets that you possess. Then you would be asked if you can provide evidence for this, and then from then on, you would submit that evidence to your RPL assessor. So we've got workplace demonstrations, using a simulator, written tests, work history, third-party reports, and in-depth probing discussions. That all adds to the body of evidence to justify your claim for RPL. So when you build what's called a portfolio of evidence, you will hunt up your information and supply it to the assessor, and the assessor as well will do some work to assist you in that process. Information gathered to support a judgment of competence against the specifications of the relevant units of competency is known as a portfolio of evidence. Possible items for your portfolio include certifications, formal qualifications, and internal training. So I always ask for certificates or licenses, tickets, any things like that. Attendances at workshops, conferences, workplace documents, resumes, logbooks, merit awards, industry awards, position descriptions, contracts, professional development. It's understood that sometimes some of the information is confidential as well, and that's respected. Okay, documentary evidence for skills obtained through unpaid work, like voluntary work. You might be doing some voluntary supervision at one of the agencies that assists learner drivers to build up their logbook hours. And you might have also been involved in some professional bodies as well. Third-party evidence. If there's another person who can verify or justify your knowledge, skill, and experience in a particular job role, then they might fill out a third-party report. A competency conversation. Competence is defined as a set of demonstrable characteristics and skills that enable and improve the efficiency or performance of a job. The RPL assessor will ask you targeted questions to ascertain your level of knowledge, skill, and experience. That is your competence. Demonstration and observation. This is a very powerful form of assessment because it's actually you showing what your capabilities are. Sometimes this may even involve a workplace visit. Simulation, workplace training, workplace assessment, and workplace simulations enable students to develop and demonstrate skills in a real-world setting. By observing and assessing skills under realistic conditions and in real-world environments, training providers can ensure stakeholders have confidence that learners' competency reflects contemporary, industry-appropriate situations. Challenge tests. A challenge test assesses the applicant's performance in specific tasks under test conditions. So it could be driving skills, instructing skills, and so on. All assessment, including RPL, must abide by the rules of evidence. Validity. The assessor is assured that the applicant has the skills, knowledge, and attributes as described in the module or unit of competency and associated assessment requirements. Sufficiency. The assessor is assured that the quality, quantity, and relevance of the assessment evidence enables a judgment to be made of an applicant's competency. The authenticity. The assessor is assured that the evidence presented for assessment is the applicant's own work. Currency. The assessor is assured that the assessment evidence demonstrates current competency. This requires the assessment evidence to be from the present or very recent past. Assessing the evidence. Once all of the evidence is collected from the various sources, it is forwarded to Watto training and the evidence is assessed and a decision will be made on the extent of your RPL. Thanks for watching. This has been Brendan from Watto Training.